We need to go right now to the NPP headquarters where Peter McMeno is addressing the media at the moment. He's just been appointed the party's manager, campaign manager for the 2020 elections. We can go over now.
Is so determined to protect it from being replaced. What is in that register and the voter management system, VMS, that the NDC is threatening civil war if it is changed for a better one? Why is the NDC placing its entire electoral fortunes on that controversial register, which was compiled under their term in office? Please remember that this is the first time ever that any opposition party in Ghana has complained, and complained so loudly, against the compilation of a new voters register. Under President Rawlings, the EC compiled a new register, and the NPP in opposition supported it. Under President Kufuor, the EC compiled a new register, and the NDC then under John Atta Mills did not complain. In 2012, under President John Atta Mills, the EC set out to compile a new register, and the NPP did not only welcome it, we were constructive in pushing for futures to enhance its credibility. It is that same register that the Supreme Court ruled that it was wrong for the EC to accept the National Health Insurance Card as an ID source for registration in 2012. We set out in opposition to campaign for that discredited register to be changed. The NDC in government opposed our campaign. It was not done, you all know. But we did what any responsible political party must do. We organized ourselves and prosecuted our campaign, and the people of Ghana gave us the highest number of parliamentarians and the highest margin of nearly 1 million votes in the presidential elections. Our focus since then has been to justify the confidence that the Ghanaian people reposed in us by fixing the economy that the NDC rigged, and with Akufo-Addo giving the people the caring and decisive leadership which John Mahama is not capable of delivering. The NDC national chairman said this afternoon that the NPP set out to rig the 2020 general elections immediately we took office in 2017. Well, Ghanaians know better. The focus of President Akufo-Addo and his government upon assuming office was to fix the economy that President John Mahama and his NDC rigged in their 8 years in office. It remains our focus to manage the crisis caused by COVID-19 in a way that the Ghanaian economy and society will come out of this crisis stronger and more united. The plan of NDC is nothing more than to fabricate grounds for chaos, disunity, and fear. They are doing this because they do not have a good candidate and a good story to tell the voters in December. It is on record. It is that record of a rigged leadership under John Dramani Mahama that the NDC must be afraid of bringing back to face the Ghanaian people for their votes, and not the fake conspiracy to rig elections against them. NDC must be reminded that the NPP, as an opposition party, beat the NDC in 2016, and by the largest margin ever in Ghana's history against an incumbent president in Ghana's history. It is not the fault of any Ghanaian that the NDC chose to bring back as their presidential candidate for 2020 the very man whose hands the NDC suffered their biggest defeat in history. It is not the fault of NPP that the NDC chose to bring back as their 2020 presidential candidate the very same man who gave Ghana the worst economic growth performance since 1994. It is not the fault of President Akufo-Addo that the NDC has very little confidence in their own chosen candidate for the 2020 elections in the person of John Mahama. We do not need the EC to rig an election in our favor. A government that has put 1.3 million children to school, who, if NDC was in power, would be on the streets, does not need an election to be rigged in its favor. A government that has restored industry and is creating jobs for the people does not need an election to be rigged in its favor. A government that has put 100,000 unemployed graduates to work does not need an election to be rigged in its favor. A government that has put the interests of the ordinary Ghanaian first, whether it is protecting money of millions of depositors or absorbing the cost of electricity and water of 30 million Ghanaians to ease the suffering of the people when there is a crisis, such a government does not need an election to be rigged in its favor. The president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, continues to show leadership and commitment to the welfare of ordinary Ghanaians, and it is this which gives us the confidence that the Ghanaian people will recognize his leadership and performance and allow the party that knows how to deliver to continue. We intend to fight and win in December based on our performance. Let me repeat. Ghanaians must find out why the NDC is so against the compilation of a new register which promises enhanced security features such as facial recognition. What is it about the 2012 register and the voter management system that the NDC holds so secret? What is it about the 2012 register and the voter management system that the NDC claims if it is replaced, they will never win an election? In what way did they tie their electoral fortunes to the maintenance of a discredited register and system? They ought to tell us, what is it about the 2012 register that the NDC claims they are prepared to foment trouble if it is replaced? Ladies and gentlemen of the media, Ghana, since the establishment of the Fourth Republic, has had registers compiled at various stages of our journey towards perfecting our democracy. 1992, 1996, 2004, and 2012. So basically, we have had new registers compiled every 8 years since 1996. And for each of those exercises, the idea has been to introduce features that are better than the previous one, with a view to secure the sanctity of the register. So why is the NDC afraid of an improvement in the security and soundness of the register and the voter management system? We have elections in December, and as President Akufo-Addo has made it clear that the election must and will be held as scheduled as far as the government is concerned. The NPP is not afraid to face the electorate. Assuming, for the sake of argument, that the coronavirus is still with us, like now in 7 months' time, and that is a possibility. Will the NDC be against the holding of an elections? There are some over 1 million odd young people who have attained the age of 18 since last year. They have a right to be registered, and so the EC will register them. How is this registration going to be done? Or is the NDC suggesting that we disenfranchise all these people? The EC has a mandate to conduct elections in December. The NDC should be constructive in discussing how at least the over 1 million Ghanaians who will be old enough to register to vote this year will be done, even under this period of social distancing. It is important that we support the EC in all the processes that will lead to delivering free, fair, and credible elections. Not only is the NDC against the compilation of a new register, they are similarly against the issuance of national identity cards. They tried in 8 years to issue a national ID, but were not competent enough to get it done. The NDC could not issue a single card in their 8 years when they were in office. The benefits of having a national ID are varied and far-reaching. In South Korea and Mauritius, for example, where citizens and foreign residents are properly documented, national IDs have helped to curb the spread of the coronavirus disease. For instance, in the course of its 6 weeks lockdown in Mauritius, residents have been permitted to go out for basic necessities according to the alphabetical order of their surnames. Currently, there are no active cases in Mauritius. Such an innovation will be difficult to implement in Ghana without proper citizen and resident identification. Everyone knows who lives in their homes. We can identify them. Parents can identify their children and wards by name and face. Every entrepreneur knows who works in their company. If it's a big organization, they provide them with ID cards. Even the NDC has an ID card for their members. So why is NDC so against a project that seeks to do for all our citizens and residents what the NDC has done for its members? So why is the NDC against a national project that seeks to do what the NDC has done for itself? We understand and appreciate that there are potential risks associated with bringing people together to register for the national ID. The NPP would like to encourage the NIA to share with the public their coronavirus risk mitigation strategies. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we call on the NDC to face up to the realities of the time and convince the Ghanaian people why they must bring an inept, clueless, and incompetent Mahama back to power after he ran down the country in the manner that he did. We didn't elect their flag bearer for them. They elected him. If they find that he is an albatross around their neck, they should not be making excuses way ahead of the election in order to justify his loss in December, which is inevitable. We will end by saying that we support the compilation of a new register, but we'll leave the decision to the Electoral Commission to make. However, with or without a new register, the New Patriotic Party is prepared to campaign and win the endorsement of the overwhelming majority of Ghanaian people once again in the next polls, based purely on what we are delivering to protect and improve the lives of the people in every corner of the country. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. Thank you.
These are live pictures coming to you from the New Patriotic Party's headquarters, a press conference that they just addressed. At the moment, it is Peter McMahon, who is the party's campaign manager there, who addressed. There you see he's flanked by some of the officials of the NPP. Essentially, they are responding to the press conference held earlier by the NDC, and they are asking a question, which, as they put it, why is the NDC afraid of a new voters register? They're about to take some questions. We'll go over there and take that answer from him as well. But he talks about how the voters register at the moment is credible, but the NPP does not need, the fact that the NPP does not need an election to be rigged in its favor, and the fact that they intend to fight and win the elections. Let's go back to him right now.
Any Electoral Commission, any National Identification Authority, abo epo a yedibe wia abanum ewo December 2020. Na omode sa asem no abefra ye no. E say yeyi ano. Sebe eye National Identification Electoral Commission there. Omanya omasema, omwa enyi omano. Na yen eni yewura na nado danko akufo adodin ebe mo ni de ye ho akwanya se ebeyi ano na enchesemu bia ho a ye da dadi ye pese Ghana fo nyina nya ntiase se NPP any president na nado danko akufo ado ye ni National Identification Authority any Electoral Commission emo epobia bebia ye no mu hia bebia emo pobia seti bia no e abato ene yekoto December na ye dwuma pa a na nado danko akufo ado aban aye no a yare kesie ya afa ewiase afa na nya so baaye anusie kese a dwumadie kese a waya fa ho no eno na Ghana fo behwe ede ato apa na se yen ni obi ko botrimpo ede awi abamu de eni yensunsuanso no omo se register no ena omo ntiase se Electoral Commission eye fofo sebe enye register nkwa na Electoral Commission omo ye register any voter management system. If say register no ye kata na obi amfoni no so na ansa na emeda ne samfoni no omo system a wo district electoral commission offices bia computer any satellite dish obo se kakaka esi district electoral commission office bia eno na de obi a yaje ne ho emfonini ene ne fingerprint no eba electoral commission sa mfidie ni nya no asai enu nti se mo bekaya emre be atwa mu kakra 2019 yewura a oye mrashe bedwani wo Elemble constituency a ye frɛ no Amakofiboa o kanede say or the electoral commission be court if you say the person asofo registration mo ye na etwitwa o mo foni wo Elemble no edi no bedroom nkran no system no a make no entimi amfa o mo foni ene o mo nsa no ene wo mo di no ama enti ade no system no so asay enti deliver a credible register na electoral commission say obesesa ye mom de e free titinya mo nsantwefo mo busada bi say start per register for enye ne e statica say per register for ma emre bi atwa mu ye raba ayi Charlotte Secretary committee bi a yewura ayi VCRAC crap enene danwa omo ye pensem mu se yentia also new register eba na say ni se eba omo the recommendations be pray by be say omo nye the willingness to clean the register na register no kwa no ajiegu ni nya no omo anye. That was under Madam Charlotte say. Na me kai say that time no for me na me kokasa wo Alisa Hotel ma New Patriotic Party. I know busa me say enti anya register no for Mr. McMahon obey den.
Mr. McMahon there translating all that he has said earlier in Chi. He essentially says that they want the people of Ghana to know that the NPP and Nana Akufo-Addo, the president, do not have any plans to collaborate with the NIA and the Electoral Commission to rig elections, as has been alleged by the NDC. He goes on to say that the Electoral Commission itself has systems to make the process of a new register free and fair, and he talks about the fact that the NPP does not intend to rig elections, but that the NPP wants an election to be held. He says that the creation of a new register is to ensure that there is a build-up of security features periodically, and the NDC must come again. Essentially, the point that he's been making.